Here we go, folks. This is Pickleball with some commentary. It's Progress Village is the venue for today's fair. This is the first game of 6 that we recorded. Did you do some drugs this, folks? If you haven't, may I tell you it's a good day to pick up the amphetamines. Maybe keep smoking. Maybe good day to sniff glue, because I have the camera at a pretty good tilt. Either the world is no longer on its axis, or I was drinking, because this does not look even to me, but it's what it is. So what do we have going on here? This is Game 1, Progress Village, October 17th, 2024. My partner in the lovely pink coming across to say hi is Abby Hoxa. I am Brian Ridge back there wearing a Emo's t-shirt, Emo's Pizza, a St. Louis tradition and favorite. Emo's Pizza. Next time in Emo, St. Louis, please, Emo's, give me some free pizza, because I wore your shirt here on the YouTube channel. Our opponents, nearest to the camera, is David Trong. His partner is Michael David. And this is game time. First of 6 games out in Progress Village. We had the best week of weather as far as temperature in Tampa. Man, I'm really killing time here, so we're waiting to get this thing started. A very cool day. It was a little windy, though, so the camera doesn't show the wind, but the wind was really there, so it's going to affect our play. I think I'm a 4-4. Abby's a little over 4-4-1, something like that. The players out here are generally around 4 level, so it's not going to be the shaggiest of games you're going to see. It's also not going to be professional level. But I'll try to do little tips out there. So if you're a casual player, maybe you'll pick up on a couple things. If you're a 3-5, maybe here's some things you can do as a 4. And if you're 4, maybe here's things to avoid, to focus on. At least that's my hope today as I watch the battle ensue, if it ever does. And the boredom is over. Abby with the serve. David with a nice return. I get a little net court, third shot action. Mikey jumps her. Let's talk about that. So I got to get to where I can adjust this guy. So he gets out of the court. I'm not going to give too much trouble to people, but I just don't see this as, that's coming from Abby. So right here, just take that with your right at you backhand or even forehand. Instead, jump all the way to your forehand. That's a lot of movement, right? Most sports, you want to confine yourself to only required movement, not do an extra gesticulation or jump. Maybe it's going to throw your opponent on occasion, but often it's going to just put you in a little odd position, maybe not quite as ready as you should be. So I just say a little more quiet feet there as a short answer to a long explanation. I like this. I like the form, right? Watch as David tries to hit this and puts a nice little, with his shoulder, makes the shot as opposed to wristy, right? He's coming up with his whole shoulder, so that's a much more controlled shot. It didn't turn out for him, but I like the form. Bryony Ridge about to serve. Pretty good deep return. Talked about how earlier he made just with his shoulders. That shot, for me, I was real wristy, right, like that. Some wrist is fine, especially if you're trying to put a topspin, but if you're just slapping it like that and not a whole arm movement, your room for error is just expanded tremendously. So I don't like my form on that return. Good serve. He's an aggressive server. Abby, even though that's not a lot of pace to that ball, it allows her to get to the net. So I like the fact that she hit that softly and deep and got all the way to the kitchen line. He's moving as he hits it. Not a bad technique in general, but you just have to understand you introduce a little bit more air when you're moving while hitting it. In general, if you're moving into a shot to get up to the kitchen line, I like it. It's probably not the shot to hit especially hard. Just introduces a little bit more to it. Put that away, Abby. She does. Abby's very consistent with her serves. She's not going to hit a ton of winners on serves, but she's not going to miss many either. She actually missed a couple this day, but again, it was windy, so that's going to affect it. Even as you toss the ball, that ball moves a little bit as you hit it, and obviously if you hit it, just a little close to long, the wind makes it extra long. Good deep return and a wide shot. We have the Dutch angle for you film majors out there. Wide. Come on, Mikey, don't do that. You're an excellent player. Keep that ball inside the confines of the court. Dutch angle refers to any angle that's off square, sometimes an odd zoom as well. Called it out because it was out. Famous, some Dutch directors of the 40s and 50s, early progressive, instrumental auteurs in the film industry adopted that to kind of just make people a little bit off edge, often point of drama or stress. Mikey makes a nice poach there. Watch him come across here. So he realizes that David's way deep, and so Abby's going to probably hit it to the deep player, and he comes across and eats it up. Well done. You wanted it to the deep player, and every once in a while, you're up. What a horrible shot that was. Good deep serve. Why is Abby that far back? It was a deep serve, I guess, but I'd like to see her at least get to the transition area. Abby and I have an MLP coming up if we get enough teams. So far, only a couple teams have signed up. Let me see how we position. I think we're going to move pretty well. That's a middle ball. That's probably mine, but either you can see that Abby was ready. If I didn't hit it, she would have taken it. So that's good. We communicate pretty well. We say mine, yours, quite a bit. So there's not a lot of confusion. Almost a good third shot drop. She's a good third shot dropper. Not proven on that one, but generally it's going to be one of her strengths. Good deep return. Earns the overhead to the double backhand overhead. Look at them fighting here. Really good fight. And look at that. They've earned their way to the net after living through a couple tough overheads. Got the way up there, popped it up to Abby. Abby put it away. Good point, though. Third shot drop's mediocre, but good enough. Fifth shot's really good. Thanks to Abby. Nice reset. Nice little two-hand. No, didn't quite catch it. Probably hit low on her paddle. Didn't quite hit the right part of the paddle. Practice, practice, practice. Nice serve. Was able to get a decent return. I'd like to hit that a little deeper if I can. Sometimes they earn their way up. They did, but hit a little high. My backhand punch was able to get a winner. Abby and I went undefeated on the day. This is the first of 6 games. So if you have got a bet in Vegas, hopefully you bet on us. That ball is going to be wide. A little extra arm motion and body motion there that probably was necessary. It's that deep. Abby, it's a really good shot. They like hitting that ball wide of Abby. They've done it 4 or 5 times, and we've got 6 points. Look at Abby's ensemble today. She's got a, obviously the primary color we're working on there is that fuchsia, that bright pink, featured very nicely on both the shirt and hat, and looks like a little trim on the back of the shoes. And just lovely what's going on there. But also look at the accent colors. We've got a paddle that's black. We've got the pants that are black. We've got an arm guard that's black. She is ready for the world tour. Certainly the best dressed. Probably the best player out there as well. She just said the ball was going to go out. Turns out okay, though. Don't think today's outfit was one of my best. It is Emo's Pizza, which is excellent pizza. So you're going to put that shirt on every once in a while. That kind of burnt green, umbrage, camouflage color. I don't have a whole lot of that. I think the gray goes okay with it. And I guess the gray arm guard for the tennis elbow I held. Matching the shorts, that's not the worst thing in the history of things. By the way, I'm sitting right here today with one of the world's worst hair days of all days in the history of hair days. So thank God I have a hat on. You're welcome. Yeah, it's not my favorite color. I'm just not an autumnal guy. I'm much more spring. Should have a little bit brighter choice. I like the deep return. I like that drive. Wow, I'm sure I got lucky to handle it. Really good point. A lot of good shots so far by everybody this time. I think he looked up just a hair. Just a slight miss on the sweet spot of the paddle, and that means that it doesn't go over the net. But a good point. Quite a few good shots by everybody. Pretty good third shot drop. Let's get into the dinking game. Not good. Keep your pedal in your hand, knucklehead. Good deep return. Really good third shot drop. Really bad handling of the third shot drop by me. I should just say, hey, you hit your third shot drop. I'm just going to dink this over the net. You've earned your way up here. Kudos to your sir. Let's see if you can win it there. You can't win it there on the baseline if you hit your serve out. I've seen Mikey out here with his machine with balls working, so it's probably not going to be a common thing for him to miss a serve. He practices quite a bit, and I know one friend of mine that's trying to go pro. He says he drills about 90% of that time and plays about 10% of the time. I play about 95% of the time and drill about 5% of the time because apparently I don't care about getting that much better. But I enjoy playing, so I'm not going to whine about it a lot. I think Mikey does some drilling. I've seen him out here working on his game, so he's going to be a good player long term. Good deep. Nope, I said good deep. Too deep. We're playing really need to get more sleep. We're playing good old rally scoring. Those aren't familiar with rally scoring. Your partner and you stay on the same side of the court regardless of the score, regardless of who won the last point. You're going to stay right and left the whole game. And that is the end of the game. Next game, we rally as well, so we'll have more of the explanation on the next game. Let's do it in a minute, folks. Game number 2 coming up.